What's up everyone, it's Mackenzie here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because this channel is all about health, fitness, and beauty, and this is just a different topic. I started sharing just a little bit because I didn't really plan on talking about this, that I am following a Daniel fast on my Snapchat account, and so many people are asking, and a lot of people wanted me to go ahead and touch topic. The Daniel fast, that is all what this video is about. My mom did the Daniel fast every single year, and I lived with her, so I knew that she was just doing a 21-day fast called the Daniel fast. She never talked about why she did it, but she did it every single year, and she was so devoted, never going off track. So as many of you know, my mom passed away 3 months ago in December of 2019, and we are in 2020 of March. And I decided that I'm going to dig into what the Daniel fast is and do it myself. And before jumping into this, I want to remind you that this is not a diet, but it is a spiritual fast. So notice that I'm using the word fast and not diet. So what is the Daniel fast? The Daniel fast is a widely utilized fast based on the book of Daniel in the Bible. In this fast, you are not counting macros, you're not counting calories, you're not necessarily food prepping, which can help you stay on track if you want to choose to food prep or plan out your meals. I did not. You just eat. You just eat what you are allowed to eat. How long do you do the Daniel fast and why? I have actually heard of several people just doing a 1-day fast or a 10-day fast, but the Daniel fast is supposed to be a 21-day fast. Nowhere does it say that you have to do it for you to get the spiritual benefits of this. Before starting, I think you need to decide how long you are willing to do this fast. For me, I wanted to do it for 21 days. I really wanted to show God at this time of my life what I am willing to give up to get closer to Him, to get in a deeper relationship with Him. But I really think you just need to decide. Maybe you want to start with 5 days and later on do 10 and then move your way up to 21 days. I decided to dig right in and commit to 21 days. So I wrote that commitment down, made a commitment between me and God, and I stuck to it for 21 full days. So the Daniel fast plan is actually found in the book of Daniel 10:2-3. At that time, I, Daniel, mourned for 3 weeks. I ate no choice food, no meat, nor wine touched my lips. And I used no lotions at all until the 3 weeks are over. The 3 weeks are referring to the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But many people just opt to do this at any time. So the 3 weeks is 21 days, and that is where the number 21 days comes from. So in the book of Daniel, you'll learn that Daniel was always found fasting and praying and just being so devoted to God, and that is where the 21 days came from. What can you eat on the Daniel fast? Only fruits, vegetables, nuts, legumes, and whole grains. That is it. What can you drink? You can drink water and natural fruits and vegetable juices. So you want to make sure that you are reading the ingredients and there is no added things that are not in the Daniel fast. So what can't you eat? That's basically all you can't eat. So you are taking all sugars, breads, processed foods, fried foods, sweeteners, meats, eggs, and dairy products. So that is a big part of, especially here in America, the diet. The spiritual side of it. This fast can and will draw you closer to God if you are doing it right. During the Daniel fast plan, people are not supposed to focus on the lack of food, to pay more attention to the Bible and their spiritual study during this fast as a period of reflection. It's also, you really should focus on the foods you are allowed to have and not the foods that you are not allowed to have. Notice that all these foods are foods that come from the ground that God gave us, and we have fallen so far away from the foods that just naturally come from the ground. We are so into candies and pops and processed foods that a lot of people I know don't even eat fruits and vegetables. And if they do, it's a chocolate covered strawberry. And it is also noted that anyone undergoing medical treatment or deal with an illness outside of this, for me, I have type 1 diabetes, but this helped my diabetes, if anything. But please advise your doctor before doing this fast. For me, during this fast, I studied the book of Daniel, and studying the book of Daniel, he is a perfect example of how us Christians are supposed to live life. life. He would honor God even though all odds were against him, and trusted in God even before he was about to be thrown in a lion's den. He was so devoted to God that is why he was always caught fasting and praying. He wanted to fast to show God the sacrifices that he was able to make to get God's attention. This is such a good way to get on that deeper level with God and get that breakthrough in life that you are truly looking for. I really went into this so blind, but I was just willing to do anything at this time of my life. So when you do the Daniel fast, make sure that every day you are digging into the word and studying the people in the Bible that fasted. I studied the book of Daniel and really falling on your knees. It's not just a fast, but it is a spiritual fast to get you on a deeper level with God. So if you're just fasting and not praying or studying the word, it's probably not going to be the benefits that you are looking for. Next topic, how to get started. So write down everything that you like that follows the plan. Make a grocery list and go shopping. If you are someone who is looking for a way to make this just easy and fun and delicious, that's like not the benefits. You're supposed to be sacrificing something. So if you're someone who just would rather have pop than water and you're gonna go try to find something that tastes like drink your water, make a sacrifice, show God that you are willing to change your ways. Like I've heard so many friends, oh, I could never do the Daniel fast because I do not eat fruits and vegetables. I don't like nuts. I don't like this. I don't like that. And it's basically everything on the Daniel fast when that is the food God gave us. You can eat it. You are not going to throw up and you definitely are not going to die. So I think that you should really throw what you don't like out the window and go grab a bunch of stuff. I think you would be surprised once you stick it in your mouth and take out all the garbage that you're used to eating, how much better you feel and that you actually do like these foods. And also be sure to keep it as raw as possible. Like sticking just an apple, eating a banana, eating this. So many people are trying to make and cook meals or buy packaged stuff. And when I was buying packaged stuff that it said this is okay, I noticed, like for instance, corn chips. There was only one bag of corn chips that would work on this diet because everything else had a little bit of added sugar or added this or added that was not able to have on the diet. By the way, you can have salt on this diet. Go to the store and when you go grocery shopping, get your food and then grab a journal. Make a commitment to yourself. There is so much information on the internet if you are not used to eating this way, especially. There's so many ideas out there. You can look on Pinterest, look on YouTube. There is so much help out there that will help you get through this diet without any cheating. And then planning ahead. So you want to find a study to do. I didn't have to buy anything. There's several things on the internet. Like I said, I use the Holy Bible app and you can click plans. And I did the Fast Like Daniel 10-day plan. And then I read the book of Daniel. It is 12 days. So if you put those two together, you can actually do a 21-day study. Get out a calendar and mark the day you start and the day you end. And then in your journal, you want to journal like that devotion, what you got out of your daily devotion, your daily time with God, your daily prayer. Jot down, journal your experience, stay on track, write down what was easy, write down what was hard, write down how you feel, write down everything. And also you want to make sure to put day 1, day 2, day 3 because it's very easy to get off track. But the first thing I did was found a calendar and put day 1. So I always know when and where I started and then the day it's supposed to end. I made sure to pray like Daniel did 3 times a day. And then, so I did my morning devotion and then pray in the evening and then pray at night after I got the kids to bed. So this is my journal that I wrote in and you can see Daniel chapter 1 and I went all the way to the end. And then I had a separate journal logging my days, how I felt and what I learned spiritually from that day. So journaling is very important to get on that deep level you're wanting to get on. Okay, here is my personal experience with it, why I started. So life has been really hard for me. It is no secret. It's been on TV. Maybe you don't know my story, but basically last year I went through a really hard year and I'm really into self-development. I've done scripture-based books. I've done all kinds of stuff to keep me on track and my mental health on track, because it really spiraled out of control when Bronx was a baby. So I have a almost 4-year-old, and so it's been quite a few years and I just didn't really get into this stuff. And so I really found God during that time, and I was so low. My postpartum depression was so low. And then 2019 hit me really, really hard. I had a lot of marriage problems. I had a lot of things just slap me in the face. I lost my mom. And then even now, like, we're going through a world epidemic. So the coronavirus is going on. I don't know what year you're watching this or will be watching this, but it's kind of a depressing time for everyone. And I just noticed I was praying every day like I was supposed to, but it just got the best of me. So I broke. I was in a really, really low time, and I decided, God, I need you now more than ever. I need you so much, and I need a breakthrough. I demand that my depression stops. I demand that my anxiety gets better. I demand that I don't feel like this anymore, that I gain hope again, that I see my happiness again, that the world is no longer black and gray. I want to see color. I want to love myself. Like, it was so hard, and I was so willing to show God, please give me answers of where I belong, who I belong with, what I belong doing. Like, please give me answers. Know that I am willing to sacrifice a lot to get your attention. And like I said at the beginning of this video, after losing my mom, I decided to really dig into this Daniel fast and what it was and why she did it. And after I found out why, I'm like, wow, this is a perfect time. And I really devoted, like, I buckled down and I did it. So I finished the Daniel fast 4 days ago. And so this is why I want to kind of share my experience. So that is why I started. So the physical side. So the first 3 days were pretty rough. I just remember sitting on my couch and I was very, very tired. Like, it was the second day I had followed it and I was just tired. Like, I felt weak. I got through that first week, and then I coached a cheer competition, and the first thing that we went to eat was Ruby Tuesdays. So it is not impossible, but it was just smelling the rolls and the cheeseburgers and all the good things around me, which I mean, like I said a million times in this video, I am a type 1 diabetic, so I think it's going to be easier for me than a lot of people because I already follow a healthy diet, but I also follow very balanced, and there's not really any balance with this. There's no, I'll cheat once every 3 days, or it's okay if I have a bite of this, it's okay if I have a bite of that. And I actually remember a time in this 21 days where I just forget. Like, you forget, you really notice how bad you do eat when you take it all out. Like, I fixed my kids a bowl of cereal, and I remember grabbing a piece of the cereal. Obviously cereal is sugary, and I stuck it in my mouth, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on the Daniel fast. Just wasn't even thinking, and I spit it out in the trash can. And I remember, like, that's the only taste of sugar my body had during that 21 days. And I just remember, like, oh my gosh, like, you don't realize what, especially having kids, you eat their leftovers, I'm just really balanced. I never drank any sugary drinks. I cut out pop over a decade ago. So the water was easy. I drank a lot of V8 juices, so that helps. Just make sure there's no added sugar. And then the next day on that trip, we ate Lambert's. And so once again, I ordered a bunch of sides. I could order green beans, I could order this, but you should try to not eat out as much as possible. There was only 3 times I ate out. That, and then my mom's birthday celebration was 5 days away from my fast. Actually, it was 10 days in. So I'm like, do I want to just do 10 days like a lot of people, or do I want to do the 21 days? And I stuck to it. We had birthday cake. We went to Texas Roadhouse, and it was just looking at other people eating good food. It was really, really hard, but I just was able to order like steamed veggies and fruit, and I even would bring nuts, and I ate a lot of nuts during this when I just wanted something to snack on. A lot of just organic corn chips and salsa, carrots and hummus. So I have followed a lot of NPC diets and strict diets, and those diets were made to, yes, for you to see results, but for us to be able to follow them as easy as possible. So we gave ourselves cheat days, we gave ourselves moderation meals, we gave ourselves, if I did not freak out, if I was at a party and took a bite of a cake because I just ate a little bit less of my, like, there was ways to implement it and make it easier, but this was way harder than it because for 21 days, there was no cheat meals. There was no taking a bite of something and being okay with it. Like, I don't know how everyone else follows it, but I'm 100% being honest when I say I did it and stuck to it to a T and never did anything because I was craving it or needing it. This diet, I also think that I truly believe the reason why Daniel did this diet, not only to show God that he is sacrificing and starving the flesh and feeding the spirit, I think that hang on, I gotta let this dog in. But I believe he did it because the first 3 days I was on the toilet, like, it was like it cleaned I was like, man, I was wanting to clean my spirit, my soul out, but I cleaned my gut out. I am clean. Like, I know this is really gross, but I want you to prepare, especially, and I was like already pretty much healthy, but if you are unhealthy and you are experiencing gut rot, it is going to clean you out and also clear your mind up. I felt like I didn't feel sluggish. I didn't feel like, ugh, and I was able to truly focus. Like, I wish I would have done this back when I was going to school because I could focus more easy. And when I was praying, I noticed that I was just so clear-minded. So it clears up your mind, it cleans you out, and it makes you super, super healthy. So what my experience of what it did for me spiritually, it truly made my praying so much more deep and intense. And anytime, like, I felt the need to just want to take a bite of something or want a sweet treat or want something, I would stop and pray. And not only, God, okay, I'm really having problems at this time, I would, instead of pray, like, help me through this, I would pray for a topic or pray for someone or pray for whatever I needed to be praying for that day. I also realized something that I would have never guessed. So, like, I am married to someone who just sits and listens to me, and I was always the friend in the group or on the cheer squad that always did all the talking. And one day God was like, because I was just getting really frustrated, like, gosh, I'm falling to my knees, I'm praying all the time, and I just don't feel like I'm hearing anything or getting anything out of it. And one day, clear as day, I could just, I just heard God say, you can talk to me, but you are gonna have to zip it and listen. Like, if you have a conversation with a friend and you do all the talking and you ask questions and say why, when, how, where, what, but you don't listen to what they have to say back because you never gave them a chance, you're not going to get anything out of the conversation. So treat God like you treat your friends, but he is your number one friend. Like, I had to shut up and listen, and I started hearing him tell me stuff. So I truly think that you will, in this, start hearing God more. The journal that you write your daily thoughts in, your daily devotions in as well, will be so good to go back and look through when you're going through a hard time later down the road. Coming out of it, my life problems were not magically better, but the way I was able to look at my life and the way that I was able to handle it was so much better. It's like I stopped seeing myself as poor Mackenzie because she went through all this, but started seeing life as a blessing, started seeing people the way God does. The people who have done me wrong, I was able to see them the way God sees them, through God's eyes. And then also, like, they may have done me wrong, but I've done a lot of people wrong too. Not that I'm a bad person. We are all guilty of something. I also, like, every time, I don't think we're thankful for the food that gets put in front of us or for how easy it is to access all this junk food. Or this bad food that we eat, and we're so spoiled with, no, I don't like that, I don't like that. Well, if all we had in life was fruits and vegetables, I promise we would like it. The reason why we do not like this food that came from the ground is because we have spoiled ourselves with going to the store and grabbing things off the shelf that are just easy access, or running through the drive-thru. It's very hard to find something healthy through the drive-thru. Or when you have a bunch of options in front of you, you're gonna choose the junk food over the healthy food if you're going for taste and satisfaction. Coming out of this, I am a little scared to fall back just because I was so intense on a deep level with God and studying the book of Daniel and all that, and also going through the Bible studies. Daniel just painted a perfect vision in my head of how devoted we are supposed to be to God during our hard times. Is the Daniel fast good for your body? Let's cover that really quick. So it does help you lose weight. You probably will experience weight loss with it. I didn't expect to, I lost 5 pounds, but I didn't expect to experience any weight loss with it because I was already following a good diet, but I do eat a lot of chicken. And like I said, you don't know what all you're eating until you completely take it out with no cheat meals and no moderations. You are going to experience that you feel so much better. And I thought, so on all my NPC diets, I had severe cravings. And I just ate. I would eat bananas, I would eat apples. You can eat natural peanut butter. If you look on it, it's just peanuts and sea salt, the organic kind. And peanut butter and bananas, peanut butter and apples. I mean, I was not experiencing any miserableness, you know, on diets when you're just so hungry. I was never hungry and I never experienced cravings. That blew my mind. It's going to flush all the toxins in foods that can lead to unhealthy cravings. So that's why you are experiencing no cravings. The Daniel fast can also help reduce excess water weight by supplying the body with the nutrition it needs. For example, vegetables, especially green leafy fruit, avocados and raspberries, nuts and seeds, and legumes all contain magnesium, so you are going to get a lot of nutrients. I actually recommend this diet, and with how good it makes me feel, I try to still follow this diet like 80-90% of the time with a little bit of moderation. Here are 2 verses that I really look to during this diet, other than the Daniel in 10, where it just talks about the diet in the 21 days. So Genesis 1:29 says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food." So guys, God wants us to eat this stuff. So it's kind of, I mean, if I were God, I would get a little bit offended when people, I don't like this, I don't like that, and kind of cut every fruit and veggies and seeds and all the healthy stuff out of their diet when that was how we are intended to eat. Us humans just turned it into something else. "Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you did not know." And that was, like I mentioned, and that's Jeremiah 33:3. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, I found out stuff because I was just so calling to God and begging him for answers and listening. When I started listening, he's going to tell you stuff that you didn't know about yourself. And I started figuring out things about myself I needed to change when I've spent 10 years trying to change someone else. You guys can guess who. And when you change yourself and you become holy, life is not about being happy, it's about being holy. But with holiness, God is going to give you that happiness. And I think us humans try to fall from that. And that is why we are just so high with depression and anxiety. That's a lack of faith and just trusting God and giving your depression and anxiety to God. I did that every morning. God, this is your fight, your battle, not mine. So call to him. He wants us to call to him. He wants us to do things like this and just beg for answers and get our life the way that it's supposed to be. Live the life that we were born to live. So do I recommend you do it too? Absolutely, hands down, yes. If you're not a spiritual person, I don't think this video or this plan is going to benefit you. The diet itself is a very good diet. It's a completely vegan diet, but most vegans eat a lot of bread. Perhaps you are in a place in your life where you need hope. For something that seems to be dying, like I was, or you're looking for answers in a certain area. Because of the way the Daniel fast is constructed, I believe that in the same way Daniel received understanding and a response from heaven, so will we. So I hope you guys enjoyed this message, and I hope that I covered everything about the Daniel fast. Comment below if you've done it or want to do, or any questions you have that I can go answer. And also always like and subscribe and tell me what you want to see in the next video.